This next one is bluebells, and again these were growing in a wood near us. We're very lucky to have a lot of bluebells, and they're looking gorgeous at the moment. I spent a lot of time working on the colour of these bluebells. As you can see, I've done colour studies down there. I wanted to get that purpley tinge, but not go too strong on it. And these are very small flowers. So again, like the Walter Spradbury image that I showed you at the beginning, you don't want to do too many different bits of cut paper on each flower, but just enough to give them shape and form. And here is the finished image. As you can see, I've got quite a lot of pinky purple colours in there. And I thoroughly enjoyed all that tangle of leaves at the base of the flowers, working out where the leaves start from, where they go to, giving them some blue tone, again, to link in with the colours, and then giving some of the petals just a flash of that sort of bright yellow ochre colour to lift them where the light would strike them, and a few bits of maroony colour in the depths of them. I enjoyed doing that one. Then the second category of plants that I often study is garden flowers. Sometimes they're growing in the garden and sometimes they're ones I buy from garden centres. I bought these from a garden centre and they never came back in the garden. I really liked the three different colours, the juxtaposition and the echoes between the colours. And I like the way with these Columbines, you almost get two flowers for the price of one. You get the front version, which shows the petals opening up, and then you look at the side and you have those long spurs that twist together. I like doing the bud, and again you can see how I've echoed a lot of the colours in. The other thing I like doing with this one is just, if you can see right at the bottom on the right, there's a tiny little bit of stem that's just leaping off into the edge of the image. I quite like doing that because it gives a slight feeling that the plant is carrying on. I think it sort of gives a little bit of energy to what could be a dead corner. This is the working drawing for that, and you can see all the colour swatches that I used. You can see quite a lot that I crossed off, and this shows quite clearly how I work out the tonal arrangement of different colours on the actual petals, the shapes that I make to describe their form. This next one was Fritillary, and I was attracted to this by the spiky leaves, the sort of rather dramatic shapes of the spiky leaves, and then thinking, how was I going to do this checkerboard pattern in cut paper? It's a bit of a strange composition, this one, because the image is divided into quarters, but I quite like it. I think it quite works. So if we look at the detailed drawing I did of the checkerboard, initially I thought I was going to cut all the little tiny pieces out of a pale paper and stick them on top of dark paper to make the pattern. But that was a nightmare and it looked dreadful. So instead of that, I reversed the process and I took the dark colour and cut a grid or a network of little holes in that, and then positioned paler paper underneath. It still took quite a lot of doing, but at least this way it looked quite good. I meant to go, I meant to go back just to show you the checkerboard again. I also did that dark purple colour at the tops and sort of on the quite sharp edges of the petals to help to give it its shape. I'd like to do fritillaries again, but the fritillaries in the garden have all died. They haven't come back. So that's the checkerboard. And now we're on to the, I think it's the last garden flower that I've got here. And this is Tulipa saxatilis. And this self-seeds all over the garden. And again, you can see I've got strap leaves, my favourite. And I really liked the energetic way these leaves were growing. All the curves and the bends and the twists. It felt really, really quite vibrant. I also liked the way the three flowers were sort of proceeding in a row towards the back, and then the three taller flowers that hadn't opened so much. This was a fun composition to work on. That's the final image. And as you can see, these are flowers that I kept quite simple, not doing too many different colour changes on them, but being very clear that the centre of the flower was a lot paler than the outer edges of the flower. I've got a detailed version here where you can see all the cutting there. You can see all the stamens that I've cut. And I think you can also see somewhere, yes, you can see the little masking tape hinge that I use to affix it to the little bit of paper. Thank you, Julia. To the little bit of paper before I get to stick it on the final one. Let's just go back and look at the finished image there. And again, you can see the colours that I've echoed around, the sort of maroony reds, the browns, echoing the colours of the stamens, and hopefully giving depth to the image.